Welcome to A Heart for Home Education. My name is America, and I'm a mother to my 3 children, ages 10, 8, and 6. And today I'm sharing with you our plans for Christmas homeschooling. So during the Christmas season, we like to slow down more with our homeschool. I like to read things that are more Christmas focused. We add in some Advent devotionals. And I also like to get the children special Christmas handicrafts to work on throughout the season during our Christmas reads. I like to think that I keep it pretty simple, but I do like to make it feel like a special time of the year because it is. And so today I'm just going to be sharing some of the things that I do to make our holiday homeschool feel special. So first up, we will be reading a proverb story from Louisa May Alcott. Right now we're finishing up An Old-Fashioned Thanksgiving by Louisa May Alcott. And then we will be reading A Country Christmas from her book of proverb stories. So that will take us probably a couple of reading sessions. And I haven't decided which readings we're going to take a break from during the Christmas season so that we can fit in our special Christmas reads. But we will be reading this one a couple of times a week. And then the other one that we're going to be reading is A Little Christmas Carol, which we did read last year. We read about a little over half of it. We did not quite make it through, and I'll talk more about that in just a second. But I am going to be reading this one to the kids again. I had one child who was scared of the beginning of the story, and so that child will probably sit out during that part. But once he's on the journey, then it actually is a very enjoyable read, and that child wasn't scared. So just keep that in mind if you are going to read that with your children. This is pretty much a word-for-word telling of the Dickens novel, but they have animals illustrated here, illustrated by, I think, Joseph Sutphin. He's an incredible illustrator who does these beautiful kind of like pencil black and white drawings throughout the book. He also illustrates A Little Pilgrim's Progress. And so beautiful illustrations, and at times they may change words out to make more sense with these illustrations, just to make it a little more child-friendly and adding kind of a fun aspect to this classic. So really, those will be our main read alouds. So I'm hoping to wrap up other things that we're reading this week. If you'd like to see what we are doing right now in our homeschool, then you can check out my last video where I was sharing what we did in a homeschool day. And that will kind of give you a better idea of what we do day to day and some of the things that we might be switching out for. So like I said, last year we did not finish A Little Christmas Carol because we were also reading Jotham's Journey, and I didn't anticipate how long of a story this is, but this was so much fun. My children loved this book. They looked forward to this book. This was probably a highlight of our Christmas season last year. So this is Jotham's Journey, a storybook for Advent. So there's a chapter for each day of Advent and a special like Christmas Day reading. And this is by Arnold Yatreedy. It's an adventure story. All of my children loved it at their ages last year, 5, 7, and 9. Very engaging, very fun, kind of like a historical fiction piece where Jotham actually gets to interact a little bit with some of the elements of Jesus's birth. So it was a lovely story. We really adored this one. We really enjoyed this one. So if you're looking for an Advent read, try to pick this one up. I purchased this used on eBay. There's probably still time for you to pick this one up. And then last year we also did Prepare Him Room by Marty Machowski. And this was kind of like a family Advent devotion that we also did. We really enjoyed this one. But for this year, I have picked up a new one that has not arrived yet. And that is an Advent book about Handel's Messiah. And that's by Cindy Rollins. I will put a picture of it here. But I've heard really good things about this. I had a friend recommend it to me. And so I think we will do that one. This book had us listen to Handel's Messiah last year, and it brought tears to my eyes. I've sang it before with a choir. It's an incredible piece of music, but to experience it with my children and to explore the context of it more was very moving. And so I am happy to be experiencing more of that this year with my children. And I've heard really good things about Cindy Rollins' Advent devotional. And then if we have time, I also picked up A Lion in the Box by Marguerite D'Angeli. She's a very good historical fiction children's author, and so I picked that book up. I heard it was a really good Christmas book, along with all of the other fun Christmas picture books that we have in our house already, to kind of round out our Christmas homeschooling. We will probably homeschool until the 3rd week of December. Since Christmas is later in the following week, we should be able to fit in about 3 weeks of school, but we will be doing all of these fun Christmas and Advent reads, and so I think that it will feel very special and festive. And then another piece of our Advent plans is, I talked about this in a previous video, but I am directing, along with a friend, a Christmas children's play, and all of my children are in it. And so that is our memory work. That is, for my oldest, that's his scripture memory and recitation, as he has several lines that he's working on memorizing. And then we have many Christmas hymns to also memorize. And so I expect our Christmas season to be full of those beautiful songs. And then of course, the performance will be so much fun. And I'm just so glad that my kids have this opportunity. I also will be taking my daughter to see the Nutcracker play with some friends from our co-op at our local theater, and that is a very beautiful tradition that I started with her 5 years ago, and so that's been a special part of our Christmas season every year. And now I'm going to show you a couple of the handicrafts that I picked up for my kids, along with their cute Christmas pajamas. So we'll start with my youngest. He is 6 years old. I got him this Mondo Llama Create Your Own Perler Bead 3D kit. So this is fun. He loves perler beads, but this is fun because you get to make a 3D creation, like a gingerbread house or a present or a Christmas tree. So he's really going to like that. And I also got him a 3D wood coloring ornament with little gems and things. And so the ornament has a way to fix in the other piece so that it becomes like a 3D element. So he can make these for gifts or just for his own enjoyment. And then for the Christmas pajamas, I am doing matching ones this year. I don't always. Sometimes my daughter has a different print than my son's, but I was able to find kind of a gender neutral one that I liked. So it's this beautiful vintage looking print with Christmas trees and instruments and ice skates and partridges. This is from Carter's. This is their Purely Soft line. I thought these were just adorable, darling, and so cozy. And then for my daughter's handcrafts, I got her a Paint Your Own Nativity Scene kit. I will probably switch this out for paints that we have that are a little bit more quality, but she just loves nativity sets. I really would like to find her an heirloom vintage nativity that can be just hers, because she just thinks they're so special and she can just get lost staring at them. And so let me know if you have a suggestion for like a vintage nativity set that I can look for her. But for now, I got her a set that she can paint herself. Then I also got her a diamond painting hoop where she can do some diamond painting ornaments, because she really enjoys the diamond painting. I think she'll really have fun with that. I think I'm also going to see if there are cross-stitch Christmas ornaments about this size, because I think she would really enjoy that. I'm doing some cross-stitching now, and whenever I pick up a handcraft, she is usually close behind me. So I think I may check and see if I can find a set like that for her, in addition to these little crafts. And then I feel so lucky that I was able to find the same pajamas for her and for her older brother. Now for my oldest son, he is only getting one craft kit because his is much larger. This is a punch needle hanging decoration kit. He does a ton of crocheting. He actually is crocheting multiple gifts, and he's pretty busy with his crocheting work, and he takes it very seriously. But I thought maybe he would like to do some of these punch needle decorations, these little ornaments and stuff to give as gifts. I found this, as well as a couple of the other, any kit that isn't Mondo Llama. I found them at my local Meijer store. I don't know if that's just like a Michigan store, but that is where I found those. This one comes with embroidery hoops and the yarn, the felt, everything to make these ornaments. And then he is getting the same matching pajamas. So those are my plans for our holiday Christmas homeschooling. Let me know what your plans are for your holiday Christmas schooling. Are there special traditions that you do? I would like to work in some way this year to be more giving, to have the kids involved in giving more. So maybe surprising some neighbors, baking some treats, dropping things off for people. I think the kids would really enjoy that. And and it's something that we ought to be doing at this time of year anyways. So yeah, let me know what your plans are for your holiday homeschooling. Merry Christmas, and I will see you in the next video.